Good. I think it's afternoon here. Good afternoon. Um, I'm jumping on right before my meeting starts, and I said my mother just called me from her room. It's one way to get each other. So I was coming on today for several reasons, and I hope I get them all done in order. Um, I was giggling when I first came on because I thought it was like 12, I thought it was 12:22. I have a granddaughter, that's her birthday. And Robert would always say, Happy birthday time. If it's your birthday, whatever the month and the day is, he would always say, Well, happy birthday time. And just for to make me giggle and laugh, which is that was his life's ambition, is to make sure I laughed every day for the rest of my life. You know, he's not here in body, but he still makes me laugh. Just little things like this, because if when it gets to my birthday month, he'll say, "Happy birthday time month," and then it's happy birthday daytime month. And then he'll just say, Well, it's the whole year. Let's just celebrate you the whole year. So, and then every day for the year, he would say, Happy birthday. Oh, no, excuse me. I said that incorrectly. Happy birthday year. He just did things like that just to make me giggle. And why not? Why not do something to make your spouse or somebody else laugh? That's the thing that we need to do in life is to make someone happy. Make it an ambition to bring joy to somebody else. God brings joy to us every day. He is joy. And so we should be joyful to other people. So that's the first thing I'm going to pop on. And I'm going to set an alarm so that I don't go over. Since I'm the moderator of the meeting, I think that would be a good time. Timer and let's do, yeah, start. Okay. So I was reading something on, I think, TikTok this morning, and a man was saying, I was at Aldi's and I was checking out, and the cashier said, It's this much. I realized I didn't have my wallet with me. So I told him, wait right here. I'll be right back. I'm going to go get my wallet. So he was heading out the door, and a lady was coming up to the front, and she said, Don't worry about it. I'll pay for it. And I hope you can hear all this. And she said, Don't worry about it. I can pay for it. I'll pay for it. And he just wouldn't let her do it. And he was like, There's no way I'd let her do it. So I went and got my money and I paid for it myself. Well, yeah, you just, I'm thankful you have the money to do that. But here's the other part that you don't realize is that is a love language. It's a love language for a lot of people to be able to say, I'll buy your groceries. I'll pay for your groceries. And so it's also a way that God, through us, loves on you. And this man did not allow this lady to love on him with her love language, nor did he allow God to love on him through her. And it's also a way for God to for us to give, and it shall be given, pressed down, shaken together, run over. Shall men give unto you? I like I like to feed people. I don't know why. I'm a Southern woman. We just like to feed people. So yeah, If I'm in line and I see somebody that they're having trouble buying their groceries, I'll help them. And God's like, don't ever, I never have to be concerned about going hungry because I have a God that loves me and loves people, and He feeds us. Y'all remember my shirt that says "Consider the birds"? Yeah, He feeds the birds. Why won't He feed you? He will feed you. I was listening to somebody walking this when I was walking this morning, and she was saying, "Believe." You just have to believe. Yes, God can do this. Yes, He can do anything. God can do anything. And that's the scripture He woke me up with this morning was anything is possible with God. Anything with God, anything is possible. With God, nothing is impossible. And so, why would we think that she couldn't? Why would you think that you can't be blessed by God? I may not have got that exactly right, but I think if you hear the whole thing, you'll get it. So anyway, I did answer back to that man. I was like, yeah, yeah, and I told him about him not allowing her to use her love language or one of God's love languages to love him. And I getting responses like, yeah, yeah, you people are agreeing. And I don't do these things for people to agree. I don't do anything for somebody to agree. I just do it because this is what I know. Anyway, that was one thing. The other thing is what I got off on a minute ago is how the Lord woke me up and said this morning with anything is possible. And I really think that He's honing in on that with me because it keeps coming up. It keeps coming up. And there are things that I wrote years ago on my business plan that, somebody said, you need to sit down and write a business plan, write out everything you want to get done and accomplish and things like this. You're talking to a woman that I've got college degrees, many. And the only thing I ever had opportunities to do was to take care of babies and elderly people. So you get to wipe a lot of noses, white faces, and butts. That's true. And so I've never written a business plan, even in when I went to business school. I didn't write a business plan, or if I did, I don't remember it. It was not memorable. But I have a business plan, and it's written on a 5x7 piece of paper. I had a notebook that was a 5x7, and that was my business notebook. Everything I did, everything I wanted to do, I wrote in that notebook. And my good friend uh, Karen Smith Thomas, I'm calling her out. She's the president of our Can-Am Spider Riders of North Texas. She said, "Come on, let's go get breakfast one morning." And I said, "Okay." So we went and got breakfast at a place. I mean, it was really good. I don't really remember the name of it, but I remember the restaurant and I remember the food was amazing. And I also remember she tricked me. Number one, she drove that day. I'll pick you up. She drove. She tricked me. Number two, she already had plans. And after breakfast, we went to Best Buy and she made me buy a laptop. I was terrified to have a laptop. That held me up for over a year in life because I was so afraid to have a laptop. I didn't know if I was going to be able to do it, to use it. This is true. Um, she made me do that. Bless her heart. Uh, it changed everything because I started using it, and then it was like, oh, now I just toss it in my backpack and go if I've got to go somewhere. Like, We're going on a trip next month, and when we do, throw him a laptop in. You never know. Somebody might need funding for something while I'm on my trip. Mine just pull off on the side of the road and do what we got to get done, or wait till I get somewhere for lunch and do what I need to do. Who knows? Or I might just take the whole time off and enjoy myself. Wow, that would be something that would be amazing. And anyway, but yeah, she tricked me into getting a laptop, and it changed my whole trajectory of my business. And I'm not sure how I got off on this, but I told you it's going to be several things today. Anyway, um, but anything is possible. That's what it was. Anything is possible with God. And so there's things that He puts in my life. Over a year ago, or maybe, let's see, what's today's date? Almost a year ago. No, it was. It was a year ago, probably today. I was looking at a piece of property that I knew was overpriced, and it wasn't finished. So it was a finish and flip basically. And I knew about how much it should cost. I knew back then, I knew about how much it would cost, to finish it, and how much it should sell for on the market. And so I said, okay, Lord, I'm going to ask this person about this. If they respond, I'm going to take that as, yeah, a yes from you. They responded quickly. I was like, okay. So the next thing came up, and I was like, all right. So I know I can't get this on my own. I'm gonna have to have help. So I'm gonna go in on one of our networks, one of my high net worth networks, and I'm gonna if they don't have any deals today, and they have Q&A, then I'm gonna ask about it. I get on that meeting. The first thing they say is, "Well, there's no meeting. There's no deals today, so we're going to have Q&A." And I thought, you set me up. So I raised my hands and asked about this, and they told me everything I needed to know that I kind of already did know, but I didn't know the right people. And Joe Russo from New York messaged and said, "Hey, Christy, you need to get with Toby Potter, and you need to get with the Adamos." And he said they can help you. So I was like, okay, thank you. Got that worked out. I met Toby first. Man, I messaged him, and in 30 minutes he called me. Bam. What you got? I have never been so embarrassed in my life. I sat there with, I'm watching the time. I sat there with him, and I just started crying. I couldn't stop crying. And I'm trying to explain to him what's going on. And I'm crying, And he said, "It's okay. Just send me what you got. I'll send it over to underwriting. We'll figure it out." I said, "Okay." And he said, I'll get back with you in a couple of days." I said, "Okay." Yeah, I could not stop crying. I was at the end of my rope. And I'll be honest with you. Um, that was in 2024, March of 2024. Oh, wait, that's been over a year. Yeah, that was March 2024. And I, I may be getting the dates wrong. I don't know. But anyway, um, I sat there and telemarketers. Yeah. I sat there and I just boo-hooed. I was at the end of my rope. And I think that he was the one that at that moment just reached down and grabbed my rope and said, "It's going to be okay." Before that, in December of 2023 or 24, I don't remember which. I, like I said, I don't know the times. Um, I had cried out to the Lord and said, Lord, I need a partner. And if you don't do something, you named this business, you created this business, but I can't keep it going. And He started at that moment. He started teaching me about partnership with Him. And you've heard me teach some on partnership, how, one partner doesn't do one thing without the other one knowing about it. So, um, I started having to learn how to deal with leaning and relying on Him, leaning and asking Him about this. What do you think about this? Since we're in this together, what are we doing? Since we're in this together, what is my part? God, since you're doing this, what is it that I'm supposed to do? And He would just teach me about partnership, and it's been really, really great. Back in 2021 or 22, I don't remember which one, the Lord gave me a prophecy and said, "You'll be a leader." And I'm like, heck, I can't even lead myself out of bed. And you want me to lead who? What? And things like that are starting to come about. And I'm like, wow, wow, okay, whatever, let's do this. you know, but He started teaching me about partnership then, and then Toby comes along and picks me up and grabs my string and says, "I'm not letting you go." The Damos came along and they grabbed my other string. They said, "We're not letting you go." And for a year, yeah, it's been a year. For a year, they've been pulling me up and pulling me up and holding me up. There's some things I've done to help them, but there's more that they've done to help me than I've done to help them. And I want to give credit where credit is due, and just tell you, anything is possible. So that particular deal, I mean, that particular property was not a deal. The margins were too narrow, and so I just let it go. Me and everybody else let it go. Gosh, that's a multi-million-dollar development there that's just sitting there, and it's still going to waste, waiting for the right time, the right person, the right time, the right everything, anything, waiting for God's anything is possible, Christy. Talked to a lady last Friday, and I told her about it. She was salivating, I think. She was so excited about that property. So I went by, I said, well, next time I'm over in that area, I'll go by there, take pictures, and I'll send it to you. That very day, Mother and I had to hop in the car really quickly and haul butt across town to Costco, and the property is close to a Costco where we go. And after we were finished at Costco, I said, Mother, we're going to drive by this property. And I went by and I took pictures of it. And I'm not salivating over it like I was when I first did, because I was like, oh, so excited, so excited. So, excitement's great when you want to have a good time. But excitement in business, I don't know that they go together. I think anticipation in business go well together, but excitement doesn't. Because excitement is an emotion that fades. Anticipation is an expectation, like we expect God. It's hope. That's that joyful, positive, confident expectation of the goodness of God coming through for us. And, I'm not saying I'm not going to go after that property. I can, with the right partners. And, um, and there's another property idea that I'm really liking also. And I've been looking at tiny homes, villages, and RV park villages, more of a permanent type thing for um, for widowed, divorced, and I don't want to say elderly because we're not elderly, wiserly. Here we go. And wiserly women to live in like a community. And I've been reading about it and reading about it a lot on Facebook from other communities that have an important number here. In other communities that have started on Facebook, and they're like, well, why don't we do this and why don't we do that? And people get together with ideas and beautiful things happen. Seeds are planted, and out of those seeds, the Bible says, one plants, another waters, but God causes the growth. And so I'm like, yeah, that would be neat. That would be neat. That would be neat. I'm at a thing the other night, and I was told about a piece of property, and I was like, okay, they want me to help them find an investor to purchase it, and so I'm talking fast. So I was like, great. The next day I get up, I'm looking on here, and lo and behold, the very thing that I would love to do with some property with the RV tiny home village, Wiserly Women Village is on there, and I read about it. So I'm calling these people, trying to get their attention, saying, "Hey." Then a call about the land that I was told about, and it's like, I know exactly where that land is. I know exactly. I used to live in that area for many years. I know a lot about that area. And see, God just puts pieces together. They aren't always, okay, that's my 5 minute warning. They aren't always a whole puzzle, but He puts pieces together, and He's made promises to me. He's made promises to me all my life, and I'm starting to see, and like Sarah, when she was pregnant in her old age, when the Lord said you'll be pregnant in a year, and she's in her 90s, am I? She was like, really? Is this even possible? you know, Um, but I don't want to be like Sarah saying, is this something that's going to be possible? I want to be like Mary saying, be it unto me according to your word. Let's do this. Come on, come on. That's the kind of life I want to live. But I know that He's going to come and He's going to bring in the right people into my path. God has been placing the right people at the right time into my path and for the purpose to teach me and to build me up and to come alongside, and we're going to go up higher. I trust Him. Anything is possible if you believe and with the God of all possibilities. So if I haven't encouraged you today, I want to make sure that before we go, that I do encourage you. Anything is possible. What are you believing for? Don't ask people how you doing. Ask them, good afternoon. What are you believing for? I'm about to get on a meeting with people that are believing for greater, and God's bringing the greater. And I see how He's bringing the greater into these investors' lives, and we're moving forward. And I was told about one part of it this morning, how it went from separate individual houses to a community. I'm like, wow, that is God. And it wasn't the investor that changed it, it's the city that changed it. And since the city changes it, you've got their permission. So this investor needs more investors to come along and guard him up. Guess who happens to know them? Me. That's how God works. He brings us all together. And he brings us all together and he works everything out for our good because he's the God of more than enough. And he says in Ephesians 3:20, never doubt my huge ability to bring it all together and make it work for your good, Christy. That's my very loose translation, but it's there. So I bless y'all right now in the name of Jesus. Have a good day. Bye.